Very excited. Very excited. Oh, format. I've got a format. Now, let me just sort the old AirPods out. Life-changing. Without the AirPods, all they are paired. It's that easy. You just hold them near the computer. Pop that one in there. Pop that one in there. I think we're all good. 30 minutes, fully charged. 12 hours listening. Bang. Why aren't Apple giving me any money for this? Hello, people. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We have audio and visual. Yeah, good. Honestly, this is really exciting because I have put together a selection of clips. I need the old Scrubs Book of Wisdom. Where's the old Scrubs Book of Wisdom? Oh, with its shiny gold border. Oh, watch when it catches the light. Yeah. Oh. Cheers, Jess, for the audio confirmation. Yeah, so I've got some clips, and what I've done, this is why this is magic. I've already made a video out of them. Just incredible. So I haven't got to keep flicking between YouTube channels. I've got a video of them all stuck together. Now I'm saying this like it's a remarkable feat of a remarkable achievement. But to most people, it's like, yeah, that's what most YouTubers do instead of faffing around like you do. But what I've made, where have I gone? So what we're going to do, and if this works, I'll do a regular, I don't want to say every Sunday at the same time, but maybe once a month or maybe once a week, and then it'll be good. And what we do, hello Alan, nice one, mate. I'll get that grift on in a minute, because this is going to be a grift heavy stream, because it's going to be so entertaining. It might go on a bit, but that's all right. If you've had enough, you leave, other people come. People are always late, go, oh, missed it, and they won't. But it's afternoon where you are, Alan, is it? I was a bit worried it might be late, and that you won't be able to see it. But thanks for that donation. Right, let me get the grift out of the way, and then I can tell you what I've done. Well, I'll tell you while I'm getting the grift sorted. Basically, I've got 10 clips. Some of them are 1 minute long. Some of them are like 4 minutes long. Very different subjects, themes. And so we all watch a clip together, and then we have a little discussion. I'll talk a little bit about it, tell you what I know. And I'm sure there'll be bits that you know more than me about that you can drop into the chat. And exciting. And, there's some nostalgia in it. There's some funny stuff in it. There's some sort of dark stuff in here. But I think it's going to be interesting, and it's worth a pop. Try something different. I don't know. Let's go. Right. All right there. You can support this channel in a variety of ways. You can join the channel. Rags, can you tell me if I put the details in the description, please, mate? I'm not sure if I have. Look who's in here already. 66 already. We've only been going 3 minutes. I feel fantastic. I feel fantastic. Packer, did I wake you up all right? Hello, Tio. Yeah, it's affected everyone's brain. It's this proper darkness. Oh, can anyone? I don't know if Rags heard me. Can anyone tell me if all the stuff is in? It is. No, that's Packer answering a different question. Did I put all the links in the description? Yes. No, that's still Packer. Well, like, you know, the entropy, the membership, you know, all the oh, Paul Salmon's helped us out. Nice one, Paul. Not a problem, Rags. It's all sorted. Right. Ding. There's some good stuff here. Thank you, everyone. Right. So you can become a member, private streams of your membership strata this month. Lovely. Super chat, $sign at the bottom of the main chat. Lovely. Entropy, link in the description, but also in the chat now. You can ask me if you want that later. My Substack is in there. That's written stories that I knock out 2 a month that you get for free. Twitch is in there. My Odyssey is in there. My Telegram is in there. Join my Telegram. I'm getting busier on there, doing more things on there. And you get notified of videos and that on there. So that's all that. As I always say, I don't expect to get rich off this, but I appreciate a few donations because I put a lot of work and time into this. And as I said earlier, it works. You're a good bunch. I get enough donations to motivate me to keep going. So sweet, lovely. I've noticed Like a Beagle has absolutely taken hold. It's taken hold like a beagle. I've been saying that for cinch. Cinch. Right. Oh my days. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Shocking. Sorry to hear that, mate. Absolutely shocking. Right. So I'm going to get this video cranked up. Have I got to do anything else? I feel like I haven't done something. It's because it's all. I think Mousecat done that. I think I see him do that on earlier. Like a beagle. I think it's because I got these working and I got my mouse working. It seems like there's no problems, and that's not right. I'm not used to there being no problems, but there's still plenty of potential for loads of things to go wrong. So I'm going to crank up the video that I made. Oh yeah, pause. Right. So we don't have to go through YouTube and off on. Oh no. I've got the clips going. So let me just get it to the right bit because I got the start a bit wrong. It doesn't matter. Right. Ozmeister coming in from Laos. Or is it Myanmar? Or is it China? Is it me, or have the left been quiet on social media recently? Don't seem to be spouting crap like they usually do. Thanks for the Lady Godiva, Ozmeister. It's because they've turned all the social networks into echo chambers. They've kicked all the interesting people off. If anyone on there said anything vaguely controversial, their lives got ruined and their employers got a phone call and they were like, yeah, kick them all out, we don't want them, look what they say, and then everyone left. And so what's the point of that? It's no fun for them. Like all they can do now on Twitter, for instance, is go, yeah, Biden's much better than Trump, and like 3 people actually bother to go, yeah, and that's it. So I think you're right. I mean, there's a few langers, but they brought it on themselves. They're boring. They've kicked everyone out. Right. Nice to see yours, Meister. I hope you're doing all right. So first video. Hang on, let me get a bit of tissue. I feel like it's making me an old man having tissue regularly. But I have a swig of water, and anyway, right. Rufus, I don't think she's got it in her to start a car, let alone World War III. She's void of cojones, absolutely. If she had any bollocks, excuse my English, she'd have already been doing something about the administration. She would have, if she had any love for that country and any actual cojones, she'd have impeached Biden. The bloke needs impeaching, and that would have been impressive. And that would have saved the Democrat Party, who are going to get absolutely trounced in the midterms. It's going to be carnage for them. But imagine what a bit of work that would have, what amazing thing that would have done. If someone like Harris had said, no, impeach him, this is wrong, the country is being destroyed from within. Our southern border's open, and we've just, over there in the Balaton. But no, she's just sitting there going, all she does is laugh. She laughs at everything, which is just a blatant sign of suspicious nerves. Right, first video. Now, I want to involve as many people as possible. Obviously, entropies and super chats get priority because that's how it works. That's the score. But I will try and... I'll tell you what, I've been getting more sleep than ever. Your voice echoes around my house. It's like you live with us. Oh, but I like it. It's like Dick Emery. Oh, you are naughty, but I like it. I've been getting more sleep than ever recently. I've changed a lot of things that I've changed a lot. I've been working on my novel all afternoon. Lovely. I'm a bit gutted it's Monday tomorrow. My girlfriend's coming over, which is lovely. But it's back to the coalface, so to speak, with work. And when you're getting right into your novel, after this stream will probably end about 1:30, 2 a.m. for me. I'll probably put 2 more hours into my novel. And then I'll get 6 hours sleep before she turns up. And I'll be like, hello. Oh, and I haven't taken the bins out and all that. We have to be creeping around after curfew. No one cares, though. I told you I went out the other night after curfew for the first time. Doesn't seem to be a curfew out there. Cambodia is hilarious. You can't go out after 9 o'clock. I think they think if they say it, the rest of the world's like, oh, no, they're doing a good thing. But just people don't give a shit. and I've never seen a policeman out after dark, ever. They just go home. They just go to bed. Sorry. Oh, no more apologising to. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah, 6 hours must seem like an holiday for you. That's it. And then he pushed him over, didn't he? Oh, you are awful, but I like it. And then push him over. A terribly unfunny bloke, but kind of hilarious in retrospect. Not over here, it's not. Any day, just chuck it. We don't even. You just throw it. You just throw it against the wall somewhere, and then the families come around and poke them with little metal things, looking for plastic to recycle. And then the garbage shrinks because there's so much plastic in it. And then the bin men have got less to take. A few rats, bag of rats. We've all heard about the bag of rats. Right, 100 people. We're starting. So first video. Now, you all know that I do yoga, and I've been doing yoga since I was 23, and we even done a yoga session. Do you remember? I turned the camera around, and we done a bit of yoga together, and yeah, no, for sure, Custard, for sure. I mean, sort of unfunny. I think he done a series called Jack of Diamonds or something that was hilarious. You know, I was only young and it was just funny. But there's nothing. Yoga makes you so physically strong. I bet you're half my age, and there's yoga moves I can do that you wouldn't even get your ass off the ground. It's so weird. People think yoga's gay. Yeah. We'll do another one soon. We'll do another for sure. We will, because you got the mats. We'll do another one. Right. Yeah, man. For sure, we'll do another one. All right, I'll tell you what. When my girlfriend's gone back, we'll do another yoga stream. So the first clip in my selection is a form of yoga that I don't support. I would not recommend this. Let me know if the audio and all that's good. If it's not, we're a bit screwed because, as I say, it's a previously recorded. I actually made a video, but it should be all right. I took care in making sure the audio is right. Right, so you're going to get just about 1 second of, yeah, I'll give you that, Wolfie. I'll give you that. It's a little bit, okay. Yeah, I reckon that'll help you out at the moment. I mean, I'm not a yoga instructor. It's very gentle what we do. It's very gentle what we do. Yeah, I've done a few classes over my years, and yeah, there's a lot of but that's all right. Come on, you've all got to let it out. No, without a doubt, there's a lot of charlatans out there. I've walked out of classes and told all the other students that this person doesn't know what they're talking about, and you're going to get hurt if you stay here. And 3 or 4 people left with me. Shocking, some of them shocking. She done a down dog, and I said, "You're doing that wrong. That's not it." And she said, "Oh, you think you can do better?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, without a doubt, watch." And I'd done it, and she just was silenced. I said, "You're stressing the wrong point. You want to be putting your heels on the ground and your ass in the air. I don't know what you're doing with your fucking shoulder." And anyway, you have to look out for those charlatans. Hang on a minute. I missed little bullets one. Kamala M. Harris. Good call. Absolutely not thought of that one before. Yeah, she is. That's brilliant. That's excellent. Someone just said something and I wanted to answer it. The reason I don't go out into Cambodia and film is because it's not like Thailand. When I was out in Thailand, I could walk around with my iPhone, no worries, massage girls, go into the shops, go into the markets, and they're all like, "Hey, hello, you want to buy some here?" Cambodian culture is very different. They do not like you filming them. And I kind of understand that. You know, what you want to see is the markets and all that, but they're at work and they don't want it. And sometimes, most of the time, they're gambling, right? So you go into the market and they're all just sitting around gambling because a lot of them don't own the stalls. So, and it's just a different culture out here. They know they're going to end up on YouTube and they don't want it. Whoa, what was that fucking noise? I'm tuning into a Second Sense. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, but they're not into it. That's why I have thought of maybe doing it on the sly, where I might take my, put a rucksack on and somehow get my iPhone into the strap. Hello, have you got any vegetables? There might be some places. We had a little walk around when I was in the provinces. Okay, I've done 20 minutes and we haven't even done a single video yet. So, listen to this. So this is the first clip, right? Check it. You're going to catch about a second of the video that was before it because I forgot to chop it off at the end. Yeah, I'm with you, Alan. I don't think that's on. Yeah, Right, here we go then. First video. Not this.
Myself. I'm going to tell you my name and we'll all laugh hysterically. And then I'm going to tell you my diagnosis. And we're going to laugh again. Yeah. And so you go around the room. It's very powerful. Now, if
So this is laughing yoga. So you tell your name and you laugh, and then your diagnosis. Now, after she does hers, which is going to blow your minds, she invites the audience. The audience, the diagnosis that the audience says is a little bit quiet, but listen out for it because it's shocking. All right, here we go.
You don't, and we'll do it just with a few people here just to get a flavor if anybody has a diagnosis they want to share and laugh about. That'd be great. And if you don't, then what I've done is combine it with the ha-ha mantra, which is you'll say your name and then say something that happened recently to you that normally would really bum you out, and share it with us and we'll laugh at it. So it's that whole psychology of, turning lemons into
Cheers,
lemonade.
Johnny.
Okay. So and I always start and say, here's how it looks. So my name is Geeta. Oh, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Very good. Very good. Yay! Anybody else want to share? Yes. I have breast cancer. Very good. Very good. Yay!
Now, can I just confirm with you that they're adults? and I'm telling you this, that's not therapy. It's certainly not yoga. I don't know how that word even, that's so random. She might as well have called it laughter table or laughter foot. Very good. Very good. Yay. This is the infantility of the left. These people are weak. They're so weak. And they would have paid and they would have turned up and they would have done that and they'll go back next week. Did you hear what the second woman said? I mean, Parkinson's is bad enough. She doesn't look that old. I have breast cancer. And they went, ah! Now, can you imagine the walk home when you think, yeah, we had a right laugh at that, but I've still got breast cancer. I've got a bit of yoga, laughing yoga on at the moment. Look at it. Exactly. I mean, this is, well, Jess, it won't. It will have, my guess is it will have the opposite effect. I mean, basically it's denial. It's denial. That's what it is. And there's quite a frightening bit of psychology going on in there, because the first thing is your name. And your name is very important. It's your name. It's how people address you. And what it does, what that first bit does, is it makes you irrelevant. It makes you it makes you a laughing stock. My name's Chris. Everyone's laughing at you. And so there's a really dark psychology then from that, from you're a joke. You're a joke. Moving on to I've got a hideous illness that's gonna maybe kill me, if not kill me, change my life in the negative, and really seriously affect my family. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't laugh at adversity occasionally, and I'm not saying you shouldn't see the humor in darkness occasionally. I mean, that's what I do as a performer and a writer. But That is present the yoga bit that she sticks in that presents it as some kind of therapy. And I just think that's a disgrace. I think that there's going to be bad repercussions. I think that damages people. I think it's not acceptance. It's not acceptance. You know, I would be more impressed if they were to say their diagnosis and have a good cry, because at least you're addressing the seriousness of your condition. But Jesus, I mean, this is, you know, we were once warriors. All humans were. We used to have to fight for resources. We used to have to, you know, throw spears at animals. We used to have to fight other tribes. Actual warriors. And in the space of a few thousand years, we've come to that. Sitting around like a bunch of children. But that's almost insulting. No, not almost. That's insulting to children. Because if you told a child that you had breast cancer, they ain't gonna laugh. They're gonna be scared, and they're gonna be upset. That is, yeah. Me too, Rusky. I didn't put it on for the humour. I put it on for the just the peculiar nature of it. Right, the next one we've put on this channel before. It's Mark Rebillet or Rebillet. He's toured the world. He was a YouTuber, got quite a big channel. He's a musician, and what he does, he's got like a sequencers, quantizers, all that shit, and he improvises, presses a few buttons, gets a beat going, gets some backing vocals going. And I've shown this one before, and he calls it something like, I think he calls it something like accidental complete catastrophe or something like that. It's a 2-minute clip, but that's brilliant. Broken silence. There you go. In that case, though, you know, that's fair enough. Grotbag certainly said it. Exactly, Alan. Exactly. It's denial. Right. So it's a couple of minutes, this clip. I have shown it before, but, you know, I've got 10 clips here. So I think the people who haven't seen this before will thoroughly enjoy it. Yes, he certainly is pazzed out of the wazoo. I'll give you that. I don't know. Is that who that woman is, Jim? Is that who she is? I don't know her before. Anyway, here's Rebillet with one of his very strange improvised. They're all improvised. Enjoy. Give it time.
Many people getting raped now, and that's too many people getting raped, y'all. That's too many people getting raped, y'all. I got too many people getting raped now. We gotta stop with all of this rape now. We gotta stop with all of this rape, y'all. We gotta stop with all of this rape now. We gotta stop with this motherfucking rape now. And listen, stop that rape. You gotta stop that rape. 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 One more rape. that rape. Stop that. You gotta stop that rape. Cut it out. Stop that rape. Stop the rape. You gotta stop that rape. Stop the rape. Stop that rape. Cut it out. You gotta stop that rape. Stop the rape. Stop that rape. Stop the rape. You gotta stop that rape. Cut it out. Stop that rape. Cut it out. You gotta stop that rape.
Mark Rebillet, he's absolutely smashing it. His concerts sell out. He comes on. Hello, Albert. Nice to see you. Good to see you as well, Mark. He comes on sometime in his pajamas. He has, hello, Caden. He has all his, yes, Osmeister. That's what he was saying. Exactly that. And he's got all his equipment, and then he just starts, he'll put a bass line down, and it's all improvised. It's very, very funny, very interesting. Not all like that. That's a particularly peculiar one. Right, this next one, I've got to give you a little bit of a backstory. This is quite dark as well. And it's got my once upon a time introduction that you're all rather familiar with, so I'll say it. I was in a rehab once, and we were in group therapy, 120 people in, lovely. Good to see you, Scrubs. Hoit! And it was a very hard group therapy session, and the dairy was on me. So that's what you don't want. When you're in a room of 20 rattling addicts, including me, you don't want that therapist to go, right, today I want to talk to Chris. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, it's just the last thing you want to hear, because you're like, you're all broken, you're emotionally in bits, you haven't slept for a week. And they go, right, Chris, and they start, I want you to talk to us about your relationship with your mother. Now, that on its own brings up so much. And remember, I'm emotionally burnt out because I'm withdrawing. You've got to add that to this. So if you don't know what that feels like, imagine you've had the worst hangover ever, and suddenly you're in group therapy and someone says, I want you to tell us about your relationship with your mother. And you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And what makes it also worse is, you know from experience, 2/3 of that group therapy room aren't going to make it through rehab. They're going to be back out on the street using. And this particular, it was a detox center, not a rehab. It was a detox center. You know that 2/3 of that lot ain't going to get through this detox. They're going to leave. They're going to be back out on the streets using with people you know. And if you relapse, you're going to be back out on there. And they know your darkest, deepest misery, and that's not nice to deal with. But you know, you have to try and do the right thing. So no, not NA, it's a detox center. And so I start telling them, I start talking, and I'm honest. What's the point of being there if you're not going to do what you're told? It's pointless. You might, you know, it's a waste of a lot of money, time, and effort if you're not going to go along with it. So I'm going along with it, and I said all my bit. And this therapist, and I really got on with her actually. When I left, she got me a lemon meringue pie. The day before I was leaving, and I did complete the detox, she said to me, she said, so Chris, you're leaving tomorrow. We're going to miss you. And I was quite touched by that, because I'd had an hard time at that place. It was brutal. And I said, oh, do I get a cake? And she went, what cake do you like? And I said, well, my favourite is lemon meringue pie. And she said, I'll see what I can do. And she did. She brought me a lemon meringue pie in the next day. She made it. It was delicious. And we chopped it all up and shared it all out. And you can imagine those withdrawing junkies. Sugar, give me sugar. Now, after I'd spilled my bit about my relationship with my mother, this therapist said to me in front of everyone, she said, what we need to, our pizzle, I scored on the way home. You know, I had to have a bag, you know, as like a, as like a treat, as like a reward for getting clean. I had to have a bag as a reward. Anyway, she said in front of everyone, she said, what you need to understand, Chris, is although your addiction has caused your mother an incredible amount of pain, and when you go to these places, they've already, if you're dependent on a parent or a partner, like as later on during my rehab journey, I was independent. So your parents and partners don't come into it. But because I was living with my mother and I was only about 24 at the time, they'd already communicated with my mother and they had to get her to fill in loads of forms, answer loads of questions. So she said, although your addiction caused your mother a lot of pain, and she used to cry herself to sleep for years, thinking she was going to get a phone call saying you're dead. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, drop me out. Come on, love, it's a bit heavy. Shut up. She said, your mother also benefits from your addiction. And the room, the mood in that room just went weird. And then she said, and this will be the case for most of you in this room. They said parents, especially single parents, if there's an absent father or an absent mother, they tend to collude with the addicted child, the addicted son or daughter. Because if you weren't addicted to heroin, like when you were at university and art school, you probably wouldn't be living at your mum's. And your mum would be living there all alone. If you weren't addicted, you'd probably be off traveling, the things you've told us you want to do with your life. You might have a girlfriend. You might, one thing you wouldn't be doing is sitting on that sofa from morning till night with your mum washing your clothes, your mum making your dinner, sitting there watching antiques programs all day long with your mum. And everyone in the room is just going, eee, and you can see people sweating. Their bodies are trying to get the emotions out because they can't hack it. She said, this is called covert incest. And can you imagine being told that in front of all these people? So, and she said, so there's an incestual relationship. Now, that doesn't mean sex, right? It's covert incest is where the widow or the widower is takes a child on as like a replacement partner. And my addiction gave me that. And I knew it because when I was living at my mum's using, she'd ask me questions like she used to ask my dad. She'd go, can you have a look at that back windowsill? Maybe give it, it looks like it needs a touch up with a bit of paint. Or come on, let's go down Wicks and have a look at some ceiling wax or something for the bathroom. And the phone would ring back in the days of normal telephones, and she'd pick it up and she'd go, oh, hello, Ben. Do you want to speak to his lordship? Which she used to say about my dad. If someone rang up for my dad, she'd go, you want to speak to his lordship? Like as a joke, and then give it to my dad. And so she said, your mum benefits from your addiction. She gets something out of it. And that is hard to take on board. That's hard because it's unconscious on my mum's part. My mum mothers don't scheme and plot to do that. She doesn't sit there going, oh, if I give him 20 quid, he can go and score and he'll be sitting there all day. It's not that basic. It's largely, totally unconscious. But I'm sure there'll be people in the chat who can relate and identify with that. So no, exactly that, Alan, exactly that. And when on my dad's funeral, my granddad on my mother's side, he said to me, you're the man of the house now, Chris. And I remember thinking, no, I fucking ain't. I'm going. I'm off. So there you go. There you go. Well, nor did I until I was told. And then in this group therapy, when they were calling me out on it, the therapist went around the whole group, and she was sort of like, Dave, you're in the same position as Chris, Louise, you live with your father. You're in the same situation as Chris. And everyone was just, and people fight. No, there's no covert incest, and it's like, yeah, you're a substitute for her partner, and so that puts you anyway. I've told you all that for a reason, because nice one, Cheryl. It's really important that people are, the scrubs are honest, but I know that these are difficult feelings to confess to. It feels like a confession. So I wanted to say all that because this next clip, I don't really know how to explain it. But if you can look at this clip, not through the lens of what I just said, but in relation to, you'll see it. You'll see covert incest at play, at work. And when you see it this blatant, you can't really deny it. So check this out. Sorry about the editing.
My mom is the closest person to me in my life, ever, even after life.
Hang on a minute. I'm just taking it back 10 minutes. The one on the right is the mother. And if you had to choose between the two, I'll have a bit of covert incest with the mother given the choice. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back and serious. Right, so check this out. I mean, it's already started. You've already seen what I'm talking about. But the mother is hot.
My mom is the closest person to me in my life, ever, even after life. She's gonna be the closest person to me.
Thank you, baby. When I first saw Angelica, she looked like an angel. I said, she is going to be my everything. I had to be the strong one for my daughter because she had no father. My first husband, which is Angelica's father, he hasn't been in our lives ever since she was about 6 months old. I had to step up in the absence of him not being in her life to be her father, as well as her mother, her sister, a friend.
And so far, that's absolutely fair enough. I mean, there's a couple of dodgy things being said, but when the father's not there, yes, you do. A mother does have to play the role of the father and the mother, and, not necessarily friend, but, you can see where it's going. It's proper darkness.
I couldn't picture my life without her. I don't know where I'd be, who I'd be as a person, if it wasn't for her.
It's beautiful.
You ready?
Yes, I am. What are you going to do for me today?
I'm gonna touch up your toes right here.
I mean, this is like a lover's relationship.
We've always lived together. I have never lived with anybody else.
I could be without a man if I have her. I'd be completely happy just with Angelica with me.
I need a man. And for obvious reasons.
Oh.
She is the love of my life. You are the love of my life. If I could find a man version of Angelica, I would marry them in a heartbeat.
That is all so dodgy. I mean, the mother, everything the mother said was so dodgy. If I could find a man version of my daughter, I'd marry them. And right there, that is covert incest. And weirdly, when I was watching the clip, I didn't realize what it was from. But if you can see on the screen there, can you see what that says? Look, over there on the far left. There's an S. It's from a series called Smothered. It's a play on words with mothered, obviously, and an S, Smothered. But it's so dark, in a way, and I don't want to make this. The mother thinks she's doing the right thing, but she's not. She's trapping her daughter. Her daughter said, I need a man. Well, why haven't you got one? Because she probably doesn't go out. Because her mother has formed a bond with her that isn't a mother-daughter bond. It's a friend bond. But because the mother's a mother, that'll mean the daughter will be doing mother things, not young woman things. And the young woman, she'll have real problems making friends with people her own age because she hasn't grown up developing those relationships. She's grown up with a very dominant mother who's formed this covert incestual relationship with her. And it will damage her. It damages people. You know, what her mother should have done very early is set her free. You know, go. Not kicked her out the house, but she should have been encouraged to socialize. Go out and do things. Join this club. Go to a swimming club. Do this. Meet other people. But because she's formed a partner bond with her, she doesn't want her to. She does not want her to. And, you know, if you didn't know about this kind of thing, now I've explained it to you and you've seen it. I mean, it's fucking blatant in that clip. Excuse my English. You know, you'll see it everywhere, and look out for it. Look out for it. And I need to stress, the mothers think they're doing the right thing. It's not a, you know, their intentions are good, but the outcome is tragic. All right, Gaffney, good to see you, man. Yeah, you're there. All right, Rob D. Yeah, it is. It has got a touch of selfishness. And Rob, that goes back to what I was saying about in that rehab center, when, you know, nearly everyone in that room was in that situation, because most addicts come from single parent families. Most addicts don't have fathers. And, you know, there are these, not all the time, but most, and it's up in like the 80-90%. And there's collusion going on. I remember my mother had to come up to that rehab center, and we're sitting in a room, three therapists, me and my mum. And I felt so sorry for my mum because, you know, she's just a working class housewife whose life went, you know, when the old man died, and then brother fucked off and I got on the junk. They said to my mum, they said, you clean his clothes, you make his dinner, you provide him a bed, you give him money. You know, my mum was only like a care worker. She was only earning like 60 quid a week. And they said to her, why do you think he's going to stop taking drugs? Because you've made the perfect environment for him. He doesn't have to do anything himself. All he has to do is go and score. And addicts will do that forever, if allowed. And my poor mum, you know, it was so brutal. She was just going, well, you know, what are you saying I shouldn't? And she wasn't saying this like arguing. She was like scared. She was saying, what, should I not give him food? I don't know what to do. And they were saying, well, why don't you chuck him out? If he wants to use drugs, if he wants to inject heroin, why don't you let him go and fund it himself? And my mum was all confused. And like she told me later, she suddenly pictured me as like one of those blokes in a barber jacket outside WH Smith's with a little dirty hat in front of me, pretending to be a veteran or something. It's just fucking darkness, because her intentions were good. She thought she was doing the right thing. Yeah, man, that's a dark one, right? A real 180 turnabout now because we've had a couple of quite heavy videos. So this next one, is entropy working? Hang on, I'm just going to refresh entropy because that shouldn't have looked like that. Hang on a minute. How did I miss Raymond's? Not entropy. Raymond, you gave a super chat, right? Maybe I missed it when I was talking. Hang on. Oh, there you go. Nice one, Raymond. Raymond, thank you for the Lady Godiva. He says, total honesty, Chris. Very brave. Oh, nice one, Raymond. No problem. I've always, honesty is the best bet in life. Honesty has given me a really good life because everyone lies, me included. And I would say that everyone lies probably at least a couple of times a day in some way, sometimes lying by omission or whatever. But on the whole, honesty that would be the one advice I'd give to anyone. If I finally do have kids, I will really try and instill that into them. You don't, oh, Winston, that's lovely. It's working, is it? We've got a load more. We've got some really interesting ones as well. That means a lot, Winston. Thank you. But yeah, honesty, it's just so powerful. It empowers you because there's no, what can someone say to that? Where if someone calls you out and you go, yeah, I am that, or I did do that. They're like, yeah, well, you shouldn't have done. I go, yeah, you come back to me when you're perfect. Go on, Foxtrot Oscar. Thanks for the donation, though, Raymond. Appreciated. And I think entropy is fine, actually, because that's how I saw yours. Right. Change of a real 180 here. This is just beautiful. Exactly that, Rags. Exactly that. Yes, Willow. And that really is an issue with lying because you've got to back that up and then you've got to back that up. And then and before you know it, you're holding 10 lies together just because you didn't. And lying usually comes out of a lack of bottle, a lack of courage, a lack of bravery. Hello, Albert. Someone just said something brilliant, actually. Yes, John. Yeah. I mean, you've just got to admit it. Everyone lies. Everyone. Give me a 1 in the chat if you don't lie. And I'll take it. I'll trust you. And I will question. Give me a 1 in the chat if you don't lie. There's 130 people here taken from all manners, all walks of life. Jacob doesn't lie. Rags doesn't. Richard doesn't. Baz. All right, okay. To the people that give me a 1 because they don't lie, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Thank you, Cheryl. Much appreciated. No message, but that's really appreciated. I mean, out of 130 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people said they don't lie. And I'm going to say this. I reckon 5 people don't realize that they lie. But, maybe it gets a little bit more complicated because then we have to define what lying is. And, it might be, you might be, I can't think of the word. You might be applying a bit of discretion here and there. Right. So anyway, a real change of this is a chameleon. And this took me ages to find because I wrote down what kind of things I wanted to talk about in this video. Then I went searching for the footage. And I wanted a chameleon because my mate had one and it was the most amazing psychedelic chameleon you'd ever seen. And obviously on acid, it was super cool. Hello, Sally. Oh, that's not Sally. Where's the Sally? Hello, Sally. So can you imagine tripping and having a chameleon that like it would walk up your arm and that? But when I've found chameleons on YouTube, they've been pretty underwhelming. But then I found this little beauty. Check him out. Check out the different colors this fucker goes for. He's an absolute show off. And I'll just give you a little bit of a background. And this is only what my mate, I know, chameleon on acid is too good, isn't it? This is only what my mate with the chameleon told me. They have, it's pigment, right? But they have like these cells all over their skin. And the cells have got different layers of color. And when they want to change color, if they open up this little cell a little bit, it will show one color, the top color. If they open it up a bit more light goes in, more light comes out, more light is reflected, and it gets down to the different color. And that keeps happening the more the cells opened up. Watch this. Oh, honey monster. Poor old Borden. I mean, I've got a few lizards live under the fridge, under the freezer, but I don't think it's Borden. He's got someone new moved in up there. I can't imagine him. Yes, it certainly is. Urbex Shawnee, are you new around here or have you been a lurker? I've seen you the last few streams. Lovely to have you. Yes, Tito, this little bugger changes colour like a beagle. Check it out. I'll get Bearing back on, but not for about a year or so. Next guest is Atheism is Unstoppable. That's been confirmed. So that might be maybe a week. Yeah, I miss Borden. Remember we used to stream and we'd see him run up the back wall when I lived upstairs. And then he introduced me to his missus. And then he introduced me to his missus and his kids. I used to feed him. A wild gecko. Anyway, this little poser, check him out. He's incredible. Oh, bad editing. Sorry, people. So he starts off that sort of look at his eye. Look. Now he's already changed from red to like lilac. Look at his eye. He's so cool. What's that camera doing over there? Speed that eye changes though. So good. Just keeping a full 360-degree vision. Look at his mouth. Look, little turn down. What's amazing is they change colour so subtly. Look. Now he's almost identical to his background. So now he's camouflage. But maybe he spotted a female or a male. I don't know what he is. I'm assuming he's a bloke because that's what blokes do. But maybe I don't need to camouflage myself. I'll go a bit more yellow. How many colours has he gone through? But he saves the best till last. Whoa! Now he's like turquoise, then blue. Amazing. Absolutely chameleon-tastic. Well, you know what? I don't actually know. I mean, the effort, the way he done it, he looked quite casual to me. I can't imagine. Is he doing a stream? Now, the next clip has come up. I know that a few of you know who this fella is. I had a mate who done time with this fella. Yes, well, it's Sykes, but I'll give you Sykes. Yeah, Paul Sykes. He was in prison for most of his adult life. He was in and out. He wasn't. I think he'd done a 10-bit, but it was mainly in for 2 years, out for 6 months, in for 3 years, out for 6 months, blah, blah, blah. Spent most of his life in prison, really. Had a couple of kids. They, obviously being his kids and him being an arsehole, they both went to prison for murder. My mate who done time with him said he was just psychotic. A very intelligent man, though, Paul Sykes. There's no doubt in that. And all the old Bill will tell you that. If you look at interviews, and there's loads of stuff about him online, they said the problem with Paul Sykes is he's not stupid. And he would, this is where we're going. This is exactly where we're going with this one, Keys to the Kingdom. Very strange bloke. But this is from the documentary about his life. I thoroughly recommend you watching it. It's mind-blowing. But he was a contender. He started boxing and he was just knocking the shit out of people. And that's what most of the time he got put in prison for. He wasn't like a drug kingpin or anything. He would just get drunk and then smash a bottle over someone's head and then smash the smash bottle through their face. He was psychotic. But like a lot of these characters, unintentionally a comedy genius. So this is the it's excellent, and this is a bit from it. Nice to see you, Hooper. I didn't know you were in here. No, that's not strictly true. I think that's a bit of an ignorant thing to say. I know plenty of people. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you, English nationalist. I know plenty of very clever people who ended up in prison. Anyway, exactly. And you can be intelligent and make mistakes. But this is a little bit, it's only a couple of minutes long. This is the story of when he tells you he's the only man in history to swim the Straits of Zahor. And just check it out. Well, yeah, because he had anger issues. You can be madly intelligent, but you might not be able to control your temper. Intelligence doesn't cover all your other emotions. Not at all. Right, there you go. There's an example. But Jolly Green Giant did make a good point repeatedly, though, and for violence. But he even the screws they interviewed, they said what made Paul Sykes dangerous was he was clever. And the bloke I knew who done time with him said as soon as newbies come into that prison, Sykes would be on them. And within a week, he had them under his control, almost hypnotized. And they'd do anything for him. But this is his story of swimming the Straits of Zahar. Don't miss a beat, because this is something else. Nice one, real Vincent Griffin. Yeah, oh, that's actually a very good suggestion. Yes, Rags, on StreamYards, it says 144. Absolutely wonderful. Give us a thumbs up, people, if you're enjoying it. It's quite a weird format, but I feel like it's working. People are hanging around. You cheeky bastard. Right, so check this out. Oh, you don't want to end up in prison if you're pretty. Right. Oh, I have actually. I'll grab one right now because I can feel the old nodules. Got to to get a tea towel for it though. Right, here we go. Oops, what's happening? Nice one, King Corona. Nodulous. Oh, okay, appreciated. Right, ready? Check it. This is incredible. It will start.
I'm a wonderful citizen. How do you think I've got this house and where I'm living now if I wasn't? They've given me this council. We've got the best, this is the best little city on earth. How do I know? I've been everywhere else. I'm here now, right on the family patch. Yeah, I know where it is. I've been. Nobody can tell me anything. I don't read Daily Mirror and so on. I go and have a look. And I've lived in the forests of North America. I've lived in the outback of the Ivory Coast. I've lived in India and Russia. I had my breakfast in Moscow, my tea in Wood Street, Nick. Yeah, I've been about a bit. I'm the only man in the history of mankind that has swum across the Straits of Johor. I had to avoid a police launch. It was either that or Changi, Nick. They've got me passport in Singapore. Yeah, I swam it. Yeah, nobody's ever done it before. Not because of the currents or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's sharks. Not shark infested, but none of the locals go paddling. Yeah, I swum it. I know about sharks, yeah. I'm 6'3" and 16 stone, 200 weight, yeah, I'm swimming. These pumps were hanging around my neck when I done it, yeah. I thought, well, Jaws, how they condition them, I know how they condition people, yeah, Jaws, boom, 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 yeah. They're just flying about. You've got to know how job works. Your sharks, they'll have a look at me and think, yeah, I know how to do them. You punch them right in the fucking ear hole and they swim off.
I know how to deal with sharks. You punch them right in the fucking ear hole and they swim off. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, there you go. You know, there you are surfing. There it comes. Yeah, get off that surfboard. Here it comes. In the ear hole, though. Where's a shark's ear? I wouldn't even know where a shark's ear was. Do sharks have ears? I know the hills have got eyes. That is... I mean, imagine being locked up with him. Imagine he's your cellmate. Oh, imagine knowing about him before you get locked up, and then the old screw walks you down that landing, and then goes, here, there's a bed in there, and you walk in, and Sykes is on the bed with his Bible out. He don't stop talking. He does not stop talking. That'll be the longest bird you ever done. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Right, now it's going to get a bit rough. It's going to get a bit of rough and tumble here, and I think this is where I planned this like people plan an album. This is the midpoint of tonight's video show. And I'm going to show you a clip. I'm going to show you a clip from the Alan Clark movie. Alan Clark, who made Scum. You know, remember Scum for our American and Australian? No way, John. You knew Sykesy. Good Lord. That's right. He was banged up. That's right. John, you knew him. Wow. Yeah, it's Wakefield. That's right on the family plot. Right, yeah, Scum is a great movie, but the man who made it, Scum's a weird one because it was actually made twice. This is an interesting story. Scum was made in 1977, I think. Hang on, I've got some little notes here. Yeah, Scum was originally made as not a film. Scum was made, BBC One used to have a thing called Play for Today. Does anyone remember Play for play for today? It was a BBC One thing, and they got Alan Clark in, and they said, will you do a play for today? And he went, yeah, all right. And he made Scum with Ray Winston and all the other people in the film. I know the bloke who gets his bum banged at the end and kills himself. I've shown you before. I should see if I can get him on and talk about what it was like making Scum. I'm sure he would. Julian, his name is. He's a really nice bloke. He helped me break into my house when I was in my pants. That sounds weird, right? Anyway, but maybe I'll see if I can get Julian on, talk about what it was like making Scum. Because he's in it from the beginning. He wouldn't have been brought in just for that final scene. It's awful, isn't it? Oh, anyway. So Alan Clark makes play for the day Scum. Mary Whitehouse, she says, no. Scum is about a borstal. Now, for non-English people or young English people or British people, borstals were they're like what are they called now? Young offenders institutes or something. They were for kids who were too young to go to prison, right? There's a name for them now. I can't remember what it is. Someone will know. YPOs or something. The play for today was Scum. Now, they're called borstals because the first one was in a place called Borstal, which is out Medway area near Chatham somewhere. Borstal's out that way. So the first one, and the phrase that the politicians threw around at the time was short, sharp shock. So you've misbehaved, you're too young to go to adult prison. They're going to chuck you in a borstal. So wherever they were in the country after that, they were slang called, Johnny put the units, and they were brutal places. You know, when Alan Clark released Scum and people saw what was going on in these places, they didn't have long left. They phased them out rather rapidly. I mean, the screws were just violent bullies. There was organized violence. You know, you had the daddy. The screws worked with the daddy, who was the prisoner that looked up, who, dominated the whole prison. And, just awful places. But when Mary Whitehouse, who a lot of American Australians and other non-British won't know, but Mary Whitehouse used to be like the political correctness woman in England. She'd always complain about sex and swearing on telly. And she said, there is no way Scum is going on telly. She got a petition, and at the same time that they made Scum, they made another one. I think it was called Law and Order. It might have been called something like Law and Discipline, but I think it was Law and Order. So to appease Mary Whitehouse and the Women's Institute and all the other people she got on the firm to get rid of Scum, they put Law and Order got put on the play for today instead of Scum. However, 2 years later, Alan Clark got all the cast back together and said, look, they wouldn't put this on telly, but let's make it as a movie so that it can be released in cinemas. And it's nearly the same cast. There's 2 or 3 sort of main characters who are different, like the vegan who doesn't wear shoes because they're leather and he polishes his feet. And that's a different actor, but luckily they're both very good actors. In the one on telly, there's a very, very famous scene in Scum where he goes to fight this black fella who's like the daddy on the other landing. And Ray Winston goes, where's your fucking tool? And the black fella goes, what fucking tool? And he gets out a lead pipe and goes, this fucking tool, and smashes the shit out of him. But in the original for telly, he doesn't swear. He goes, where's your tool? What tool? This tool, bosh. So this is the confusion. When I was a youngster, I watched it, and we all used to say, where's your fucking tool and all this. And then when I watched it with some other mates, I didn't realise I was watching the other version because it's almost identical. And then they didn't say, "Where's your fucking tool?" And I was like, "What? Oh, did I make that up? What the fuck's happened to my memory?" So that's what happened. 2 years after it was banned from telly, Alan Clark made it as a movie. However, we are going to come on to Scum after these ones, right? But first, I want to show you another Alan Clark movie called Made in Britain, which isn't as famous in Britain as Scum, but I think it was Tim Roth's first film role. If it wasn't his first film role, it was certainly his first big film role. And he's amazing in it. And you know, the other day I was really getting into how badly treated I was at school, and I got bored and they sent me out and they caned me and all that other nonsense, and it was just hell, and I hated it, and I had teachers threatening to kill me, and I had all this other nonsense going on. Well, in these clips I'm going to show you from Made in Britain, you really see that in him. And in the film he goes back to his school and he looks at it and you can see the hatred in him. It's very interesting. Lil Bullet, thanks for the 10-bit. Borstal was not strictly the short, sharp shock. Well, it was to the people I know who went. That was a detention centre, 3 to 6 months. I know because I was locked up in one. Borstal was 6 to 2. Hang on, 6 to 2. Oh, 6 months to 2 years. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, same principle, but not so short. Okay, no problem. Same principle, though. They were fucking horrible places. So you went to one. How old were you, Little Bullet, when they put you in one of them? About 15 or something? Good Lord. And when was that? About, what, 1975, 1976? Maybe you should come on and tell us about that one day. That would be very interesting. Nice one for the 10-bit. And if you want to come on and tell us about that one day, I'd certainly be up for a bit of that. But I want to show you, this is a scene from Made in Britain with Tim Roth. So his school damaged him. He was sent to care. Not Tim Roth, the actor Trevor. He's got a swastika. He's a skinhead. It's based in like the late 70s. It was made in 1982, though. And this is a scene where they've got him in some kind of detention centre, ironically, and he ain't having none of it. And it's a really good performance. And when he went for the rehearsal, when he went for the audition, he knew where the audition building was, and he had a mohawk shaved into his head, and he was in the park outside the window of where the auditions were. And he was causing trouble deliberately, just, you know, throwing beer cans around or something. And the old Bill come over and he was just giving him a load of mouth. And of course, all the people in the buildings opposite are looking, including Alan Clark, casting agents. And so when he's walked in there, they thought, well, this geezer's absolutely ideal for this role. So first scene, we've got two scenes from Made in Britain. First scene is where they're trying to tell him, if he behaves himself, you'll be out of this place in a couple of weeks. And he's given up. He ain't having none of it. So here we go. Tim Roth, a very young Tim Roth, in Alan Clark's Made in Britain from 1982.
I'm in exactly the right place at the right time. The fact that you're too fucking thick or stupid to see that marks you down. You'll be put up against a bus covered in petrol and shot.
Fantastic.
All of you, you just fucking failed. I'm not your bleeding problem or anyone's bleeding problem. Bollocks to you in your report. Write it, lock me up, who gives a fuck?
I don't know, Trevor. I really don't know, but what are we going to do?
About what?
About you?
No, about you! What the fuck are we going to do about you? If you had any balls, you'd stick a knife in the bastards who write all that bollocks. They're wankers. And just like teachers at school, they're all fucking wankers.
You learn anything at school, did you?
Yeah, be the best, otherwise forget it.
That it?
Everything they teach you at school is useless.
Everything?
It's rubbish in your head. Bugger all to do with me and my life.
That's what you learned at school.
Work hard, Do well. Get a job, otherwise you're no good. You're a vandal. That's what I learned. It's a lot of bollocks. Lies. We're all fucking great. You ain't taking bugger all from us. We hate you. You can lock me in here, but you can't take away the hate inside my head. I can still hate you in my head. Don't like that, do you? You can't take a bit of truth, can you?
Oh, I don't think you're particularly truthful or honest. Now you lie with the best of them. You go out thieving. That's not particularly honest. Perhaps school would be a better place if people like you were more honest.
I've just got to stop it there so that YouTube don't shut the stream down because it's a long clip. I apologize for doing that because it's kind of kills the atmosphere, but it's either that or get a shutdown. So here we go, we're back on it.
An example.
You really believe all that, not nicking from school, not nicking from the local packy sweet shop bit, don't you? That's being honest, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You don't really want me to be honest, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well then, honestly speaking, I don't think I can honestly keep the peace while I'm incarcerated in this shithouse. Or any other shithouse. Contract or no contract. So there's no point in saying I will, is there? How's that for honesty?
Yes, but where's it getting us, Trevor?
It's not getting us out of this bloody room.
See, you can't take it, can you? It's the same when I was at school. I said when I was bored, when I didn't want to do a lesson, when I wanted to have a fag, when I wanted to tell a teacher to fuck off for being a wanker. Or kick him in the teeth. But they couldn't take it. They didn't want me to be honest in that way. That's why they don't have lessons in honesty. 9 till 10:30 honesty. Because they don't want the kids to say what they're really thinking and feeling inside their heads. They had lessons like that, they'd lose control. We'll be able to smack you around the head when they feel like it. You just want me to be honest when you take me down the neck. It's a fair cop, Gogh. Or when I fill out a form. Be honest. Don't cheat. Don't carry a knife. Bend over, let me search you, make notes about you, keep files on you. If I'm honest, I've got nothing to worry about, have I? You're protecting me from the dishonest buggers, aren't you? But I can't look at the files. What's read out by the magistrate? What those fuckers said about me at school? What's on the police computer? It's all a lot of bollocks. We're not talking about honesty, we're talking about sticking to the rules. All those honest people out there are just sticking to the rules, but they lie and they fucking cheat all the way. And they just think they're being honest because they swallowed the bollocks they've been handed. They've been conned. I've not been conned. That's why you can stick your hairy contract up your hairy ass. It's a dishonest con. You want to put me in line? Well, do it. Try it. Don't fucking lie about it. Kick me in the bollocks if that's what you feel like doing. Because I'll do the same to you when I feel like it's a good night and fuck off to you.
Well, good night to you too. That's it, Peter. I'm going.
Yeah, just a minute, Barry.
Oh, you know, when I watched that earlier, much like now, I really identify, as you've all seen previously, that anger from school, you know, all that bullshit, you know, having them whip me and fucking cane me and slap me about, threaten to kill me. One teacher threatened to fucking kill me. And that's how angry I was when I was about 15. I was carrying that anger around with me. And when I watch it you know, it really, and that is, that, you know, we hear about all this masculinity, that article we looked at the other day, and you know there's not many ways of getting out of it. It damages you, and you end up that fucking angry, or you end up like that bloke selling that socialist paper. There's not very many options in the current system because it's bullshit. And he says, you know, Alan Clark's scripting is incredible. You know, they don't want real honesty at school. They don't give the kids a couple of hours to tell you how they really feel, because all those kids would say they fucking hate that place. You know, we all enjoyed going to school because all our mates were there. But some of the stuff that went on, I absolutely hated those teachers. I used to daydream about stabbing them, about throwing them in front of trains. And to do that, for them to be able to do that to a child, to a 13, 14-year-old, is a disgrace. Ozmeister, thanks for that donation. He says, Tim Roth is the best British actor to do an American accent. You can see why Tarantino likes him. He's in a, thanks for the donation, mate. He's in an absolutely fantastic movie with Tupac. It's Tim Roth and Tupac. They're both junkies, and it's a real good movie. I can't remember what it's called offhand. I'm sure someone else has seen it. Little Bullet. You didn't have to throw another $5 to tell me, but appreciated. I was just 19. I was just too young to go with the adults in North Sea Camp. The absolute worst place in the country at the time. Nobody wanted to do time there. It's an holiday camp for nonces now. I'll look into it. I'd be quite interested in hearing about that. I mean, I don't know if that's something that you'd be prepared to talk about. Have a think about it. That's obviously your choice. Nice one, Little Bullet. That's very interesting. And thank you, Osmeister. Let me just have a check my entropy. We're all good over there. Right. So the next clip is from the same movie. It's only short, though, because there's something I want to... there's something I did get suspended for playing all that clip. So none of you saw that. Ah, no. None of you saw that clip I just played. The annoying thing was that clip I just played weren't even from the film. It was from someone else's YouTube channel. How comes they can show it? This stream isn't monetized. Did you see any of it? You did? I don't know what's going on. So you saw a bit of it. Okay. You saw 4 minutes of it. Well, that's enough. You get the idea. I'm quite tempted to show you. Ah, you missed all the stuff about him talking about honesty at the end. Well, I won't risk it again, but I want to show you another clip from it. What I'll do is I'll play it. It's only a short clip, but there's a really interesting little moment. So what I'll do is I will play it. We'll only see about 10 seconds. We should be all right. Right, so he's got out of that center. I can't remember. I think he just breaks out, gets out somehow. And he's just walking around the world. He's walking around at night. And he, I've just, people telling me I was gone. Sorry about that. But I'm going to show you another bit. He walks past this shop. And in the shop window, there's like a family. Like a traditional family, couple of kids, television, sofa, wife, like dummies, mannequins. And when I first watched it, I was thinking, as a kid, I was thinking, go on, put a fucking thermalite or a breeze block or something through the window, go on. But as an adult, I realized it's actually far, far better observed because there's almost a bit of envy. He's looking at it and he hates it because it represents normality. I've gone again. Yeah, but why? So I can't show you the next clip. All right. Oh, no, that means we're going to have a bit of problem with Scum as well. Well, hang on. It's because I've still got the screen on. It's because I've still got it on the screen. Let me know when I'm back, when you can see me. Yeah, there's probably someone sitting there now. I will. Well, I don't need to show you the clip. There's. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It usually comes back though because I've stopped it. Suspended. I should come back. Not back. Can you hear me or just not see me? He's back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. I'm not going to risk showing you the other Made in Britain clip. I am going to risk showing you the Scum clip because it's very short. But I'm going to fast forward it a little bit so that we just see the bit we need to see. Okay, right. Sorry about that. So I've learned something for the next time I do this. With films, it's going to have to be short. And I'm going to have to stop this at parts. This is from Scum, the film from 1979, not the TV version, the film version. Ray Winston playing Carlin. And this is a very famous scene. And this is where the classic line that everyone over 35 in England knows, I'm the daddy now. So we'll see if we can get away with it. A little bit frightening, isn't it? There's someone sitting at YouTube now thinking, go on, you play a bit more of someone else's movie. But I'll just have to interrupt it every 15 seconds. It's a very famous scene, this. Nah, I've got to risk it. I've got to risk it. Here we go. Oops, no volume. Hang on.
Carry on.
Right, so I have to stop this now and again. So you might have noticed then he just put a couple of pool balls in a sock. Okay, and I think I've got to talk for as I think you've got to talk for as long as the clip you've played, which I think I've probably done now. So Carlin's decided he needs to take over the Borstal. I can fast forward this bit because I wouldn't have usually, but not a lot happens for a little second. Hang on. I don't want to ruin it and lose too much. Got to be a bit tricky. Right, here we go.
My bleeding way. It's all right, man. What's up with you, weirdo? You want straightening, do you? You might get left alone here, but I'll cut you a bleeding ribbons if I get any of your epoxy lip. Back, Ross!
So the geezer that he just, I wouldn't have usually done the interruptions, but for the sake of the video. So the geezer that he just done with the pool balls is one of the sort of little lads who follows the current daddy. You know, he's got his two little sidekicks. The bloke who tried to run out the room is the other sidekick, and he just says back grass because he knows that he's going to go and tell the current daddy that Carlin's about to take over.
I said, get back, shithead.
I'll forward this bit. Sorry, people, but he only walks up the corridor because he's looking for the other daddy, and I think he's about to find him.
You bastard! I'm the daddy now. Next time I'll fucking kill you.
There you go. So that's from Scum. If you haven't seen it and you go to try and watch it, find the 1979 version. It's the film, not the play for today, and it is a better version. Don't say that. I'll just work it out for next time, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen. I'll make sure that I don't do films. Yeah, it's an absolute fantastic movie. Right, we've got 2 clips left. The next one's a trailer, and you can get away with trailers. Now, I was going to put Quadrophenia. I was going to do Quadrophenia, but we've talked about Quadrophenia on this channel so much. I even talked about Quadrophenia in a SUBSTACK story. So I thought, don't go Quadrophenia again. Do the other Who movie. And if you haven't seen Tommy, the movie, you really need to. For those of you who don't know, Tommy is a film, main role played by Roger Daltrey, music by The Who. It's about a deaf, dumb and blind kid who sure plays mean pinball. Yes, so he's abused as a kid. He's got awful family. Everyone is just abusing him. His mother doesn't care about him. The dad's a pervert. The uncle beats him up and tries to drown him. And the weird thing is, at first, there's a bit where the uncle takes him to see a prostitute, and it's Tina Turner. But she turns out to be the Gypsy Queen, who's got this mad suit that injects her and turns her into this thing and then snakes for a skull. It's a very 70s movie. And at first I was thinking, you know, what a difference from Quadrophenia. But then I thought, hang on a minute, I'm missing a trick here. Because Quadrophenia is about an alienated man, Jimmy, who was the bloke who got the pool balls around the head, by the way, Phil Daniels. It's about a man who's alienated. He doesn't feel part of the world. You know, he lives in his own world. That's what Quadrophenia is about. You know, the name of it, Quadrophenia, it's schizophrenia, but instead of having a split personality, you've got 4 personalities. He's not in touch with reality. And as Quadrophenia develops, you realize that he's on the old French blues, the old amphetamines, Dexedrine, and as the film develops, he's more and more alienated. He's got no job, no friends, nothing. And I thought, hang on, in a way, Tommy is the 70s version of Quadrophenia, because Quadrophenia was set that's got to be 1965. And I think Tommy, I should have known this, but I think it's about 74. Someone might be able to correct me on that. But they're actually very similar films about people who are alienated from their existence. They're people who don't actually take part in the world because they're stuck in their own world. It's got an incredible cast. It's Jack Nicholson's in it, Tina Turner's in it, Elton John's in it. It's an amazing cast. And a completely trippy film. I mean, if you've got some blotters and you're going to do them, rack Tommy up. You'll have the time of your life. You'll never be the same. Now, this is a trailer, so we should be all right with this. I think you can play trailers. Lil Bullet, thanks for the donation. You're kind of keeping this going, really, to be honest with you. And Ozmeister and Vincent. Vinny. Now I feel like I've missed someone. Raymond, too. Right. Lil Bullet said, most of the screws at North Sea were ex-army, most of which had been drummed out because they were absolutely mental. Some of them were pure evil. Yeah, I can imagine, man. I'll have a look into it, Lil Bullet. I mean, look, if you want to come on and talk about that, that would be fascinating. I can understand why you might not want to, but if you did, it would be, you know, I'd want to dig deep, because otherwise it would be pointless. So have a think about that. But I would totally understand if you didn't want to. You know, that's heavy. So let's have a look at Tommy, with Roger Daltrey playing Tommy. And I just want to stress again, if you haven't seen it, it's about a deaf, dumb and blind kid who sure does play mean pinball, which is a lyric from the Pinball Wizard song. So let's check this out. If I get yeeted, don't worry, they'll bring me back. Here we go. Hang on, sorry people. Let me just make sure I've got the audio. This wouldn't have happened if I hadn't got yeeted. But now I've learned for next time I do this video show that I can't do movies, or I've got to do 15 seconds. Yeah, he's absolutely disgraceful. Oh, and who's the other bloke who's in it? Yeah, fiddling about. What's the English famous drunk? He's in it as well. What's his name? Ollie Reed. There you go. Ollie Reed's in it. Well done, Hooper. So let's have a watch a bit of the Tommy trailer. We should be all right with a trailer, I think. One of the weirdest films ever made.
Rock opera film.
Hello, Moslad.
He got beat the best. His disciples lead him in, and he just does the rest. He's got crazy flipper fingers. I've never seen him fall.
I'm just pausing it to make sure I don't get yeeted, but that's Elton John. Elton John is singing that song.
Dumb and blind kid. Shot plays me in handball.
Robert Powell there. Just going to interrupt it a little bit. This is when he gets hooked up with the Hells Angels and they abuse him like pretty much everyone else in the movie does. Yes, Sean, the Tina Turner bit is absolutely... That's it, Acid Queen. I thought it was... that's it. I'm the gypsy, Acid Queen. And you just saw the suit that she comes out of and puts him in. Good Lord. I'll tell you what, Flammadiddler, it still will. Here we go. I think that was Paul Nichols, wasn't it? From, what was that? BBC sort of rom-com sitcom. I can't remember what it was called. My family used to watch it. Anyone remember what Paul Nichols was in? 10 points.
Come to me now.
Good call. That's it.
Come to me now.
And of course, this is a bit where it varies from Quadrophenia, because suddenly it turns out he's not deaf, dumb, and blind, and he sets up a cult. And I suppose you could liken this to the bit where he sees that Sting is actually a bellboy, because it all goes down the pan.
Director Ken Russell and producer Robert Stigler have made a film of Tommy and assembled some of the greatest names in music and the cinema. Tommy by The Who and based on the rock opera by Peter Townsend, stars Anne Martin.
I've just got to interrupt it. Sorry, people, just because I just run 15 seconds. So now he just tells you who's in it.
Oliver Reed, Jack Nicholson, Elton John, Eric Clapton, Tina Turner, Roger Daltrey as Tommy. Don't miss Tommy, the film.
Right, we are on the final clip of the Scrubs video show. How are we doing? How are people feeling about a regular Scrubs video show? I mean, we've looked at 9 clips. We've covered covert incest. We've covered laughing yoga. We've looked at a chameleon. We've had Paul Sykes punching a shark. We've had a look at Made in Britain, a bit of Scum. We've talked about his Grim Down South Ballstall movies. Nice one, Bison American Club. Ballstall boy, Brendan Behan. Oh, I like Brendan Behan. Irish poet and songwriter, isn't he? Nice. Didn't being right dirty old town. Maybe I've got that wrong. All right, nice, good call, Bison American Club. I will check that out. I do check these things out, by the way, people. Thank you for the donation as well. How are we getting on with this? People are loving it. Oh my God. Superb. Superb. Those comments are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Good. Took ages finding all these clips and putting them together. Right, next clip. I'm going to take it off the screen because I've got to tell you a story. So weirdly, this is Doctor Who. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I was as a kid. I've met 6 Doctor Whos. I've met, and by met, not saw them over the bar, had a drink with, chatted to, right? I'm not, which is weird because when I tell Doctor Who fans that, they're proper gutted. And I'm like, no, I don't really like it. Nice one, Raymond. Much appreciated. Nice one, Little Bullet. Yeah, McVicker's excellent. But, you know, a very different movie. I mean, it's another prison movie. Yeah, McVicker's good. And Daltrey's brilliant in it. He surprisingly can act. And, thanks for the donation, Little Bullet. And Roger Daltrey is based. I mean, you've probably seen the clips. He's absolutely based. Right. So this is going to be a clip from Doctor Who. So I'm going to have to interrupt it. They might yeet me for this, but it's the last one. So, there you go. I'm confusing the two. There you go. Yeah. Kirsty's old man, innit? Another Irish poet, basically. Good call, Albert. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, in this clip, Doctor Who has brought Vincent van Gogh back to the future. Whoa, confusing. And yeah, I liked Doctor Who when it was Tom Baker, and yeah, and I've met him. But then I become an adult, and you know. But in this clip, they bring Vincent van Gogh back. Now, the bloke playing Vincent van Gogh is an actor called Tony Curran, who I spent about 4 years knocking about with in Soho. Not ring him up and go, "Are you out tonight?" But he was drinking at the French House. He was going to the Groucho Club. He was at the Colony Club. He was at Soho House. So was I on the Sulphate. Went back to hang on, I'll get there in a minute. He was going out with the bird who ended up marrying Sean Bean that I told you about earlier. Very funny bloke, Scottish actor, really funny. And we used to have a real crack, me and Tony. Now, one night, he was with this girl, the one who went on to marry Sean Bean. Lovely, lovely lady. I don't want to mention her name because she's nice and I still know her. I ain't seen Tony in a long time, though. But we done loads of pills. I was selling them. And I don't really like ecstasy, but, you know, I'd had about 10 pints of Guinness. I needed a little livener. So we're knocking back these pills, boom, 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 ecstasy. And he said, Jerry's closed at about 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, do you want to come back to our pad and just see the night through? And I was like, yeah, of course. So we've gone back there and we're banging these pills down. And the missus is sitting there going, are you sure you meant to take that many? I'm like, nah, you're not meant to take this many. Oh, but it was more like, nah, you're not meant to take this many. But it's all right. I've done it before, yesterday. And then, no, Jacob, just don't bother. Don't bother. You don't need them. You just don't. There's no point. Why do you want to? You know what? You're not missing anything because you don't. Anyway, I would encourage people. I would encourage young people not to do drugs. That's a fact. Acid, maybe. Anyway, jokes. So we get back to Tony's gaff. and we're pouring gin, and every gin we're having another pill. We are fucked. And he went to me. He went, Chris, I want to tell you. Oh, Scottish accent. I want to tell you a story. He went, do you think you can listen to a story from me? I went, yeah, go on, no problem. He went, when my father died, I went to the funeral, and it was like, I didn't know half of the faces there, like, you know. And I remember thinking, I don't know these people, I don't know them. And you know, when, you know, because my dad died as well when I was young. So, you know, on ecstasy, it's all, oh, yeah, I know how you felt, mate. And he went, after the funeral, we all went to the wake, and everyone's drinking. You can imagine the Glaswegian there. And he went, and I just thought, you know, fuck this. He went, and I ran home fast as I could, running home. He went, and I got in, and I put on Phil Collins, In the Air at Night. You know the song In the Air at Night? And I went, yeah, I know it. I know Phil Collins. And he went, and it was there, and I was just going, I can feel it coming in the air at night. And I was getting a bit awkward at this point, thinking, Phil Collins. And then he went, and then there's that bit with the drums. And Tony's in front of him, and he went, and I just went, boom, 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 boom. And then he looked at me like I was going to go, fucking hell. And I went, oh, Phil Collins on your dad's funeral. And he didn't know what to do when I said, I just went, oh, Phil Collins In the Air at Night. And I looked at his missus, and she was like, and Tony was like, and then he absolutely cracked up. And then he went, it's a shit story, right? And I went, yeah, it's awful. So it turned out all right, you know, But that's just a side, because I watched this episode of Doctor Who just by chance one night. I'm doing nothing, and I just thought it looked interesting. They brought Van Gogh back. Van Gogh is one of my favourite painters. Tony looks like him anyway. Tony's a natural ginge, and he does look like the portraits of Van Gogh. So there's good casting, and he's a fine actor. He's a very good actor. And I was quite touched by this. And, you know, it's quite nice to imagine someone like Van Gogh, who in his time, you know, he sold paintings for like £5, and he was psyched off. He was in mental asylums, and he died in a mental asylum. I can't remember the name of it offhand. If Lumi was here, he'd probably know. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. You've probably seen it. No, but they done a little bit of prosthetics on the top of it. Van Gogh only took the top of his ear off. Anyway, fucking hell, Gaffney, Jesus. All right. I want to tell you why. I was really touched by this. I was touched by the idea of Van Gogh coming back. You know, it's a totally improbable situation. But for a man who died in a mental home, a man who was a failed painter, even though his brother Theo put all his money into trying to make him a success, what an amazing thing if you could bring him to the future and show him the influence he's had on the world and on the art world. I was really touched. And considering I know the actor well, I still thought it was Van Gogh. And that's quality acting. I'm going to have to interrupt it, which is going to kind of screw the impact a little bit. But check it out. It's a rather beautiful scene, especially compared with what they've done with Doctor Who now, which is just shocking. Now, this is BBC One, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful. I'm going to shunt it on a little bit. I would rather have played the whole scene, but I just don't want to get caught out. Right. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, people. Apologies. So that's my boy Tony. That's Van Gogh. Here we go.
It's all about your crossing kisses.
So they're at the National Gallery and there's a Van Gogh exhibition. So all his paintings are up. That's quite wild. You know, Van Gogh was painting what? Turn of the 20th century, like 1890, around that time, post-impressionism.
Those first steps there, I can't calculate.
The Black. Yes. We met a few days ago. I
Just got to interrupt it. What's his name there, playing the curator of the exhibition. Yeah, that's right, Rags. That's it. He was in Sons of Anarchy, yeah. But this is quite beautiful. I hope I can play the rest of it out.
asked you about the church.
I'll certainly play Van Gogh's response out.
A verse.
Oh, yes. Glad to be of help. You were nice about my tie.
Yes. And today is another cracker, if I may say so. But I just wondered, between you...
Right, because I want to play the whole rest of this. This is the last clip, so if I get yeeted, who cares? But this is beautiful.
For me, in 100 words, where do you think Van Gogh rates in the history of art?
Well, big question. But to me, Van Gogh is the finest painter of them all. Certainly the most popular, great painter of all time. The most beloved. His command of color, the most magnificent. He transformed the pain of his tormented life into ecstatic beauty. Pain is easy to portray, but to use your passion and pain to portray the ecstasy and joy and magnificence of our world, no one had ever done it before. Perhaps no one ever will again. To my mind, that strange, wild man who roamed the fields of Provence was not only the world's greatest artist, but also one of the greatest men who ever lived.
Vincent, sorry. I'm sorry, is it too much?
No. They are tears of joy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You're welcome.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. When I first saw that, apologies about the interruptions, but I had to. Oh, they've done me up. Oh my God. A strike? Oh, don't tell me they've given me a strike. Am I back? Can you hear me? Bollocks. No sound. No, they won't give me a strike. Does it say strike? Hang on. You can't see or hear you. Good Lord. Oh, that's better. Am I back? Am I back? I'm still here. I'm back. All right. Well, look. What I will have to do for next time we do this is it will have to be things like the first few. I obviously can't do movies and TV shows, but that don't matter. There's plenty of other stuff. There's plenty of other stuff that I can pick and choose from. That was good fun. I think I can do this. I'm sure I'm going to get some emails from YouTube, but this video will be blocked almost certainly. When I do it next time, I won't be using film clips, or if I do, there'll be 15 seconds. Whatever happened to fair use? I thought you could use 15 seconds, and it's mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. But what I will do, I think people have enjoyed this stream. My vocal cords haven't, but I'll do it again. But what I'll do is I'll do it with things that you can, like trailers and like, you know, other people's videos rather than films, I suppose. Well, Jacob, you used to be able to have a thing called fair use where you could use copyrighted material if it was transformative, or if you were adding critical analysis. That's what it used to be. YouTube used to be full of it. You know, you could show whole films, and as long as you were interrupting and talking about it, that legally outside of YouTube, that's still known as fair use. That's why TV shows make documentaries about actors, and they have edits of their movies because it's considered fair use if you're adding to it critically. But YouTube have obviously just thought, no, we don't do that anymore. But weren't Tony good as Van Gogh? You know, for someone who's not into Doctor Who, that when I first saw that scene, it really touched me. What a lovely idea of, you know, Van Gogh finally getting, finally witnessing the, you know, the praise and the relevance that he really does deserve. Lil Bullet says, I've got a big print of Flaming June by Frederick Layton on my living room wall. I don't know what that means. Nice one, Lil Bullet. Is that who the band was? Is that who the music was in the Doctor Who thing? Yeah, me too. The first time I saw it, me too. Hands up. Absolutely, I did the same. So Alan, you know, you've seen Tony in a few things. He's been in a load of things. He turns up. Yeah, he's great, and a lovely and interesting bloke too. YouTube don't like it when you ain't frozen and muted. It's still the best streaming platform, though. It is. You know, I don't want to lose my YouTube channel. You know, we've been picking up loads of new scrubs recently, and that will not happen on Odyssey. It will not happen on, can't stream on BitChute, won't happen on DLive. DLive's not even a free speech platform, you know. That's right, he absolutely did. That was his first major role. That was his first, that was when I was hanging around with him. He just got famous off of because This Life won loads of awards, and it was like this new, wow, look at this new amazing, I don't know what you call it, series. And yeah, that's what propelled him into the limelight. This Life was pretty good, actually, for BBC, I have to admit. Well, listen, we've been here for over 2 hours. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We covered, yeah, he's Scottish. We covered a lot of different topics there. And I hope you got something out of it. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you thought about something. But I think we'll definitely do this again. And I'll be a bit more careful about what I can and what I cannot show. Because up until those parts, I thought it was flowing rather nicely. Thank you all, everyone who donated. Thank you, everyone who chipped in the chat. Thank you, Rags and Moslab, for moderating. Thanks to all the most delightfuls and the lurkers. I will be putting your messages on the screen. Let me know what you thought. Let me know in the chat how it might be improved. Let me know what sort of things you might want to see. You can keep the grift going. You've got about 1:90 to do that. And I will see you. My girlfriend's coming over tomorrow. Might stream, might not. Probably not, because I've also got to work. But I'll see you soon. No longer than 3 days. What have I got to do? I've got to press that. I've got to do that. I've got to do that. Imagine they yeet me for this. I'll go, it's fucking Paul Mumford. Ta-da!
Everyone knows I'm gonna be the first man down. All my friends
I almost certainly will.
be around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break. Can't go on, I've taken all a man can take. Life is a curse, it only gets worse, and the world don't watch you drown. Maybe my mind will fail to ever find the point. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. Looking back, I rejected every place I stayed. A woman says I'm lying in the bed I've made. She says warriors don't give up before the war begins. So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad and people get sad, but at least they have a cause. Struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave.
He's gone off the internet for a while. I haven't spoken to him for the longest since I've known him.
Deep, deep down underwater.
I'm getting a bit worried that I never will.
Lay my head.
Nice one, John. Nice. Cheers, Raymond. Nice one. Yeah, we'll do.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave.
Yeah, me too, man. It's a bit dark.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
Nice one, Vinny. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Vinny. Stopping smoking is good. No problem, Alan. A pleasure. Really is a pleasure. I'm sending you an email later. It won't be around for a while, Chief. You're in good hands with Rags. No worries, Moslab. Not a problem, my friend. Anytime you can. When you can't, you can't. I know you've got a lot on, man. Hang on, I'm just playing the old album. Mumford will come and yeet me. I know I say go and play down your own. I know say go and play at, I'm sorry, I can't read that at all. That's absolutely cryptic. You've been down that bar at the bottom of your garden, Mrs. Me, innit? Go on, play down your own end or I'll suspend you.